Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jade Alberts. I am a small business strategist influencer based out of Calgary, Alberta, and my passion is helping small businesses grow and succeed. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started the Telling It Like It Is Facebook Live show. It is a Facebook Live show. It is interactive. So if you have any questions during our broadcast, please post them up there and we will answer them. If you are watching this after the fact, and have questions, put them in there, and Samantha and I will get back to you. I'd like to thank Orangetheory Fitness for sponsoring this. They have 9 Calgary locations and they deliver superior fitness results in a fun group environment. They use heart rate monitor technology to ensure your goals. So if you're interested, please contact one of their 9 locations. I'm excited about today's Telling It Like It Is guest. She is Samantha Leonard, CEO, co-founder of Stream Dental HR. Samantha, thank you for joining me, and how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Just ignore all the background noise. I'm actually coming live from Orlando, Florida, on my way to Miami for a conference.
So I really do appreciate you stopping in a Starbucks and doing this, and we'll do our best to get through it, and hopefully the Starbucks connection doesn't kick us out today.
Yeah, we were technical glitches earlier, which I'm grateful for.
Well, I'll give a brief introduction here of Samantha, and then we'll get right into it. She's been in the dental industry for over a dozen years, and she's worked in every role, worn every hat, and mastered the traits that eventually led her to becoming an operational manager with the well-respected, world-renowned orthodontist, Dr. Sam Daher. Together, they started and built a million dollar practice from scratch, expanded to 6 locations across the country. Her managerial experience has helped her appreciate and identify the negative effects of a wrong hire, lack of systems, and the adverse impact of a team dynamic, quality of customer service, and lost time, wasted money. She is passionate about helping the dental community find and build their dream team and establish effective HR programs that will create the office culture and take their practice to the next level. So I guess your kind of road is almost a little different than most of the people I talk to, because you worked in the industry, you learned from other people, you learned all the positions, and then you said, you know what? I can make this into a successful business. So please share what you learned, why you made the leap to start Stream Dental.
Definitely. So, like you mentioned, I kind of started off actually being a dental assistant. So I did that for
Yep.
5 years. Just kind of decided that there was more to my career, and I wanted to continue learning. I wanted to continue growing. So just kept on going into different positions in the practice, and within that, just being able to utilize all of the skills that I learned when Dr. Dar hired me to start up his satellite clinic in Bankers Hall. And so essentially, I was like, that was my business because he only flew in 4 days a month. So the rest of
Yeah.
the time, I was the one who was there, marketing the practice and taking care of the patients, taking care of the accounting. And so there was a lot of things that I learned on the, and that really just kind of started my mind spinning and saw how creating the right systems, having the right people in the right seats made a huge difference in growing that practice and then eventually figuring out what the successful formula looks like and then
Yeah.
being able to use that as a flagship that we could eventually start, recycling it, reusing it in other practices and just seeing how that just really compounded all of that success, and then it just really skyrocketed the business over a few years. And then learning from that really kind of helped me realize as well, as I was growing in my management position, I learned a lot of things on the job. I didn't go to school to get an MBA. I didn't know anything about economics, accounting, or marketing. It was just, you're in it, you're actually kind of seeing what's working, what's not, and then just using that to be able to really see what was lacking out there. And for me, it was the support when it came to how to be a good motivational leader, how to engage my team, how to be able to really get all of the systems in order so that the business can flourish, the patients are being taken care of. And when I was kind of reaching those points in my career where I was, struggling, or I was trying to, I didn't know where to turn to for support, that's when it kind of started in the back of my mind. Like, there needs to be a better way. Like, I'm looking at all these other successful companies out there, these big industries like oil and gas, accounting. They all had a dedicated HR agency. So if they were looking to hire, they take care of. That's their expertise. If there was any issues about team conflict, or any questions that you have about legislation or regulation, how they handle certain things, or Googling it, right? And sometimes Google does have a good, powerful tool, but it doesn't give you the right advice and the right support. And so that's kind of what got the wheels turning. And that's when I partnered up with Dr. Dar, and that's how we kind of created Stream Dental.
Absolutely. So I guess, I
lost you already.
No, you're kind of frozen, but I can hear you. So I guess we'll keep on going, and it is what it is. But so with you being able to learn on, people always say you can learn on someone else's dime, and you had probably a lot of hurdles. How, express that a little more, how important that was to take the knowledge that you learned. Oh, can you hear me?
I don't know.
Well, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Well, we might have lost Samantha here. We might have lost her. I am going to see. We are just going to see. It's the first time it's happened in the actual interview, but we'll make it work. I'll see if I can get her to give me a call, and we will continue. Or she's going to try and reboot. Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. It is what it is. Sometimes technology, you gotta make it work. It is.
That's right.
So I guess the question I asked you after you mentioned that is, I know you had a lot of hurdles and overcome them, but learning on someone else's dime, how much did that, people try, entrepreneurs think that they have to go right in. Tell us about how important that knowledge was that you gained.
It's hard to describe, but it's definitely something that's way more important than when you're in a school. You're learning based off of things that happened that were successful 10, 15 years ago. And I think the best way to be able to learn is, actually getting your hands dirty, but also connecting with people, like-minded individuals who are on the same path or have actually reached the next level, right? Because that's the kind of mindset, being able to see what are the best practices that made them successful. And that's what I did a lot of. I was consuming a lot of information on podcasts, going to conferences, meeting other corporate dental offices who own multiple clinics, reaching out to people like that's what really kind of helped open my mind. Because before, what I was used to, I was working in a practice that they'd been open for 30 plus years. They didn't do any marketing. They were one of the first orthodontists on the block. So to them, they never had to go out and look for clients. And now the times have changed. There's an orthodontist, there's a dentist in every single shopping center, in every professional building. So competition has just gone through the roof. And so there's different things that you need to do to be able to stand out and to really make that practice successful. So I really think that it's important to get out there, to network, to connect with other people who are at that next level, to learn from them.
Oh, and that's such an important point. Network, learning as you go, continuous learning. And I know the dental industry itself is very good at that and making sure that they pass that on to the dentists. I guess when it comes to having, did you have a mentor? Are you still out there networking a lot?
Oh, definitely. I'm out there networking, and the power of social media is just crazy, right? So I'm on quite a bit of Facebook groups that are specifically created for people who are either in the startup mode, or people who are just looking for more marketing support, or management specifically for dentists, and they have their own Facebook group. So just getting out there and attending a lot of conferences as much as I can. I love going to study clubs. I love just meeting people in different areas, because even if it's not dental specific, even just going into another industry and learning that, and just, kind of absorbing as much as I can, that's definitely something that I'm still involved in. And that's why we're on our way to go to this conference right now with Grant
Yeah.
Cardone, and it's about 10xing your business. So I definitely want to learn how I can scale it, and really take Stream Dental HR to the next level.
Oh, no, that's awesome. And speaking about taking your business to the next level, you just went through a rebranding process. So why don't you explain why you did that and how that went?
Definitely. So we initially started. So Stream Dental has been around for almost 4 years. So the first, how we kind of got into the market is actually we were more of a temping agency. So we wanted to be able to streamline hiring team members, whether that's on a temporary or permanent basis. So that's kind of how we initially started. We were local to Calgary, and then as we continued growing, that's when we were starting to notice a lot of clients coming up to us with other issues that they were facing. So if they, they had a conflict with a team member, or, didn't have any systems, or feeling like they're constantly overwhelmed with the high employee turnover that was happening, then they were coming to us looking for suggestions and support. And then that's kind of what got the ball rolling for us to kind of start this new HR division, where we have certified HR professionals who work with our clients to be able to develop all of their necessary protocols and systems and policies, so that everybody is on the same page working together.
Yeah.
So we started that actually last year, and then I kind of felt like our name was really limiting us. So a lot of people heard staffing solutions and they automatically assumed we were a temp agency, and I felt like that was really holding us back. So then that's kind of what inspired the change to change the name from Stream Dental Staffing Solutions to Stream Dental HR, so that people can see that not only do we help them find their dream team, but we also help them put together the systems and the programs so that it can create the office culture that they're looking for, but also get everybody working on the same page and really driving the business forward. So that was a bigger undertaking than I thought. It's not just delete 2 words and add 2 letters. It's everything that is the brand that we created, and then changing our logo and changing the website and everything that was involved in it was a big undertaking. We had been working on it since July, and we just launched the change.
Wow. And it is beautiful. And for anybody that wants to, you can just click on the link in the comment section. It'll take you directly to Samantha's website. And you've done a great job. It's outstanding. And I've talked to a few people that have gone through, and everybody almost says exactly what you are. You think it's going to be relatively easy, but then it turns into this long process. In the end, it's gratifying and great, but it's a process.
That's right. I'm glad we finally did it. But yeah, like you said, it's not just one simple thing. It's so many different things that are involved in changing a brand, changing the image, changing the website. So
yeah.
But start now. That'd be my advice. If anyone's thinking about it, do it now.
That's great advice. So I guess now now that you've done your rebranding, it looks awesome. I love it. What's next for Stream Dental HR?
So we are actually in the process. So the end of next month, we're going to be launching a human resource and learning management system. So it's a software that we created specifically for dentists, because as we kind of continued into our journey for human resources and helping practices, this was another area that always continued to pop up. We were noticing our clients saying, okay, well, this is great. You've given me over 100 documents here to be able to help me get myself organized, create my HR library. I'm ready for every situation that comes up. But, how do I keep everything organized, right? And when you look at dentistry, like you said, the dental industry is very advanced when it comes to their software and technology.
Yeah.
But for some reason, human resources was always 10 steps behind. And when I start to think about, a lot of these practices are getting rid of any paper charts, paper files. They're going more digital because it streamlines their practice. It's more efficient. It's more effective. Everything's all in one spot, and you ensure that you're protected and you're held compliant as well towards regulations. So when I started to kind of look for a system like that for HR, there wasn't really anything out there. So
Okay.
we started kind of creating this concept in our mind for the longest time, trying to be able to figure out how we can streamline human resources a little bit more, have digital employee files, but also to have a hub where you can create your own e-learning course. So I think last time when you and I met for coffee, that was another thing that we were talking about, is that
Yeah.
dentists and I struggled, especially with being a manager, was training my team. And when you hired someone, it was more of a, you get thrown into the deep end, figure out how to make it, or else you're out.
Yes.
Either we kick you out or you just end up just saying this isn't the right place for me. And that's not the way that you set up any person for success, especially introducing someone new into your practice. And they have a big role in your office, right? They're working directly with patients. They're your brand ambassadors. So they need to be trained properly, so that they are holding that high level of standard that your patients expect and they deserve when they come in. So then we tried to be able to kind of use that concept as well in developing the software. So I'm really excited to be able to launch this next month. It's basically going to automate their hiring, their onboarding, their training, and developing their team. So that's in the works for next month.
Oh, and that's awesome. And I mean, I know, and people, I say this all the time, and people are the heartbeat of your company. And in the dentist industry, it's a little bit different because almost every single person in that office touches the client, whether it be the receptionist, the hygienist, of course, a dentist. So it's such a different setup. So that I think that will be awesome and game changing. And I mean, because people are loyal to their dentists, and sometimes, as you said earlier on, that some of these older practices don't need to market because they're flowing. They've got lots of people. Their clients are always there, and they always will be. So in these new ones that are coming up in today's world, it's they need a little bit of an edge and to make sure that they can differentiate themselves, and people will do that.
Right. And, I'm really obsessed with learning and reading books. And some of the books that I read are about major companies like Starbucks. I love Starbucks not only for their coffee, but I love the culture that they have. I love the customer service that they and it's all uniform between all locations, no matter what part of the world you're in, they're all the same. And so I kind of started to dive deep into how have they been able to expand so quickly, and all kind of they're all the same. The
Yeah.
quality and the customer service, you can experience that in any part of the world. And so I was looking at how they train their teams. And they actually do, a lot of it is online. So they have their own e-learning course specifically for new team members. They teach them on the philosophy, they teach them about their core values and how they're involved in the community. And that really is what creates that loyalty, that creates motivated and engaged team members, because they feel like they're involved in so much bigger than just what's the four walls of that Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that's definitely missing in dental as well. We do so much. We're changing people's lives. We're changing their confidence. Now they're able to smile and feel like they can take on the world because, they feel like they have a nice smile and it's well taken care of and they're healthy. So I want to have that same kind of inspiration, motivation, streamlining hiring and training your team members. And I really feel that Stream HQ is going to really make a difference. It's going to be the headquarters for the success, streamline their business, and have all of their systems all in one place.
No, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. And as you said, you should always do business with a smile. So that will help. I guess our last question I always like to bring up is, if you had one piece of advice for, a small business and entrepreneur starting it up, Samantha, what would it be?
I would just say, always keep learning, always just keep meeting new people, networking, just kind of continue refining your systems, your business, but also being able to kind of take a step back and seeing what are the pain points of your customers. Because sometimes what ends up happening is we're so set in this way. Like, for instance, when we started, we're just temping. But if it wasn't because we were taking a step back and listening to what some of the struggles our clients were going through, and seeing what other ways we can support them. And now it's, looking back 3 years ago, I would have never imagined that we'd have a human resources or a software that we're about to launch. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say to just always keep learning, checking in with your clients and seeing what other ways you can support them and help them, and what other ways that they need help with, and just better serve them. And then at the end of the day, and you'll go to bed with a smile on your face.
Well, being able to listen to your clients and pivot your businesses are two of the top that I always have in my top 5 or top 10, because they are important. So that's great advice. Thank you, Samantha.
Well, thank you for having me, and I apologize for the technical glitches.
Well, I appreciate you taking time in the Starbucks in Orlando and on your way to Miami. So I know, we had a few glitches, but it went well. And I thank you for coming on. So I really do appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I really happy to be on here. Thanks, Jade.
And a special thanks. Oh, for sure. And a special thanks to Orangetheory Fitness. They have 9 Calgary locations. So if it's time to start a new fitness routine, give them a call. Again, thank you, Samantha. And we will talk soon when you get home.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.